Something is happening to you and you can't quite name it. You wake up one morning and the world feels slightly different. Not darker, not lighter, just different. Like a frequency you've been tuned to your entire life has quietly shifted, and now everything that used to feel urgent feels strangely distant. The phone buzzes. Someone needs you, and for the first time, you don't immediately reach for it. That's not indifference, that's evolution. Empaths don't change gradually. They transform, usually after years of absorbing everyone else's reality so completely that their own becomes unrecognizable. And when the shift finally comes, it doesn't announce itself. It arrives in small, unsettling moments that feel like something is breaking when something is actually being built. Here are the 5 signs that an empath is not falling apart. They're entering an entirely new chapter of their life. Sign 1. Silence stops feeling like a threat. For most of their lives, empaths fill silence. They fill it with words, with checking in, with asking, "Are you okay?" before they've even asked it of themselves. Silence, to an exhausted empath, has always carried weight. It meant someone was upset, something was wrong, a relationship was crumbling. Then one day the silence arrives and they just sit in it. They don't fix it, they don't perform comfort, they breathe. This is huge. What looks like withdrawal from the outside is actually the first real moment of self-presence an empath may have had in years. They're not becoming cold, they're becoming quiet enough to hear themselves think, and that quiet is the foundation everything else gets built on. Sign 2. Other people's chaos stops feeling like their emergency. There's a specific kind of exhaustion that only empaths know. It's the kind that comes not from your own life falling apart, but from holding everyone else's together. The 2 a.m. phone calls, the friend who's always in crisis, the family member whose pain lands on you like it's your own because, for an empath, it always has been. When an empath is entering a new phase, something quietly disconnects, not from care, from compulsion. They can witness someone's struggle without immediately calculating how to fix it. They can say, "I hear you," without adding, "Tell me what you need, and I'll make it happen." This feels like guilt at first. It gets misread as coldness by the people around them, but it's actually the difference between empathy and enmeshment, a line that took years to find, and now, finally, they can see it clearly. Sign 3. They start noticing what drains them some and honoring it. Empaths in survival mode don't have the luxury of noticing what depletes them. They're too busy managing everyone else's energy to track their own. But something shifts when the new phase begins. They start noticing patterns they've ignored for years. That one person who always leaves them feeling hollow. The conversations that feel like energy, transfers going in one direction. The social obligations that produce dread rather than anticipation. None of this is new. What's new is that they're no longer dismissing it. This is the beginning of discernment, arguably the most important skill an empath will ever develop. Not every person who reaches for you deserves what you carry. Not every open hand is offering something in return. The awakening empath begins to understand this not as cynicism, but as wisdom earned the hard way. Sign 4. Relationships start revealing themselves for what they actually are. When an empath stops overfunctioning, a revealing thing happens. Some relationships simply stop working. Not because anyone did anything dramatic, just because the dynamic that held them together, the empath giving endlessly, the other person receiving, no longer has a willing participant on one side. These endings are quiet and often devastating. The empath grieves them. They question themselves. They wonder if they've made a terrible mistake, if they've become someone they don't recognize. But there's another side to this clearing. Other relationships deepen in ways they never could before, because for the first time the empath is showing up as a full person rather than a function. Reciprocity becomes visible. Genuine connection, the kind built on mutual care rather than emotional labor, becomes possible in a way it never was when they were too busy performing endless availability. The relationships that survive this phase are the ones worth keeping. Every single one. Sign 5. Their own joy stops feeling like a luxury. This is perhaps the most quietly radical sign of all. The empath begins to want things. Not things for other people, not things that will make someone else's life easier. Things for themselves. A creative project, an afternoon with no obligations, a conversation about their own interior life. For empaths who've spent years treating their own desires as negotiable, this feels almost transgressive. Who am I to need this? Is a thought they know intimately. But the new phase brings a different question. Who am I not to? Joy, rest, desire. These are not rewards earned after everyone else has been taken care of. They are the foundation. An empath who is genuinely nourished is infinitely more capable of genuine care than one running perpetually on empty. The shift isn't away from love, it's toward a version of love that includes themselves. If you're recognizing yourself in these signs, here's what's important to understand. You are not losing your gift. Sensitivity is not something that burns out. It sharpens when it's finally pointed in the right direction, including inward. What's ending is not your capacity to feel. What's ending is your willingness to feel for everyone at the cost of feeling yourself. The empath who comes out the other side of this phase doesn't care less. They care better, with boundaries, with discernment, with the quiet authority of someone who finally knows their own worth. That's not a loss. That's the whole point. Are you in the middle of this transition right now? Drop a comment and share where you are. Sometimes just naming it is enough to make it feel less like falling and more like finally finding your footing.